Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, our hard work's gonna be worth it.
What do you have in your house that every time somebody comes over, you just have to show it off? Maybe it's a wall that you knocked down, something that you bought, something that you made. Well, for me, it's my YouTube studio. The reason why I'm so excited about the space, it's not just because of all the work that I put into it. Now you're making a lot of noise. But it is all the little things that come together that most people don't notice that make a great YouTube studio. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched a studio tour from any of your favorite YouTube creators, but either they make it way too simple, or I make it way too complicated, or the simplicity is in the fact that they want you to buy these thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of lights and everything, and let's just face it, the average Joe like me and you, we can't afford those things. So my studio is on a budget, and today I want to talk about all the setup between the audio, the lighting, the visual setup and the decor, everything that makes this studio, and how this video is kind of like my rollout. This is the finished studio. This is my daughter Zoe, and she is, how old are you?
8.
And she's gonna be helping me with the lighting. Have you ever heard of a 3-light setup? Now the 3 lights is your main key light, which I use the newer 660 bicolor light as my main key light. And then you have a hair light, which I'm also using a 660 bicolor in the back, but I have it set to the tungsten orangish yellowish color. And then you have a fill light, which I kinda have a fill light, but you'll just have to see, and let me show you what it is. And then another light that's not a part of that 3-light setup, but that is important, is practical lights. Those are lights in the background that just kind of give it character. So we have, oh, it's off. We have that light right there, and then we also have that light right there, and those two together kind of bring a little bit of life. And I also have a couple of candles back there that I didn't light today, but I kind of like those as practicals as well. YouTubers talk about how simple it is. And they say, oh, well, you could just be in front of a window, or you just have one light and that's enough. But then they also say, well, you want to control all of the light, because as the sun changes and the clouds change, then your color temperature is going to change and the brightness is going to change, and you want to control everything. So I got the bright idea, if I have a basement studio, if I just have one light, that's enough. Or if I film at night when there is no sunlight coming through the window, that light would be enough, but it wasn't. Lights off. This is all of my lights off except for the main key light. Just that one light, okay? Now, I don't think that that's quite enough, and it looks like we're sitting in a really dark room. Well, the shadows of her hair are gonna blend in with the shadows of the background. So, Zoe, not on camera. I might leave that in there. This is with the hair light that is on her hair. Now, just to let you know, this light right here is not doing that. I can unplug that light and it doesn't change anything. This is a practical light, but it is also a motivated light. And what that means is you think the light that is in the frame is what's lighting her up, when actually it's my key light that's back in the background. Now, have a seat. You're full of spunk today, aren't you? All right, so that's not enough. So I added some more lights. This is my overhead light. Now, I mainly did this to light up the table because I wanted to get overhead shots with my camera, and I couldn't get a good shot because the table was too dark. So that was mainly to light that up, but then I realized it also lights up your hair quite a bit, and it kind of lightens up your face and works like a fill light, which I always heard a fill light would be something over here. And I've used little ring lights before. I've used little pocket lights, like the little aperture lights and whatnot that are about 50 bucks. I've used those to light up. Polly Pocket?
He used a pocket.
This is my overhead camera. This is a Sony RX100 Mark VII. I put it on this 1-inch ball mount that I put magnets on the bottom of it. Then I mounted a metal plate, a Bugs Bunny plate, believe it or not, up on my ceiling. And then I can take the magnets and I can put this anywhere and position it to face the table. But this camera does not work very well in low light situations. That was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted that overhead light to begin with. And this is with the light off and on. So that is the difference in how it fills her face. And it's a lot different than the main key light. But if you'd say, oh, well, that makes such a big difference, we don't need the key light. If I shut the key light off, that's all that we have. So they really do work together to bring a good image. All right, so I really like the look of this, right? But there's still another dilemma that I'm running into. It looks like we're sitting in a dark room. Look at that background. Zoe, what do you think about that background?
Too dark.
Too dark? Do we need to lighten it up? All right, let's lighten it up. All right, let's turn the background on and off just a couple of times because I really like to show you the difference. Like I said, this is completely on a budget. So the 660 lights, I think I bought both of them for 100 and something. I'm just gonna say 150, but I'm really not sure. It was a long time ago since I bought them. Then the overhead light, I actually built it myself. I went to the Habitat for Humanity restore and I dug through and I found this box that looks like it used to be for a light. It still had the diffusion panel in it. I took a yardstick from Menards. I took the outlets, the sockets, I should say, from boob lights, and I made my own makeshift overhead table light. I paid $6. The boob lights, one of them I already had. The other one I only paid a couple of bucks for. And then I bought an extension cord and I chopped off the end of it. That cost me a couple of bucks at the restore. And then I bought a switch, a dimmer switch, which was like $5 at Menards. And that is how much that one light cost me, not very much at all. Now the other light, what I did is I got a rail system. And that way I could direct the light wherever I wanted it. And it was just shining on the back wall and nowhere else. I bought that, I really think it was like $6 to $12, something like that. But I did not pay much for it. And I just mounted it on a board. My wife said that the board looked nasty, like it was dirty, that I mounted it to. But it's a board from a garage. It's not as bad as it looks.
It looks bad though.
Well, gee, thanks. And it is built to be wired to your home wiring, but I just cut another extension cord and ran it to it. Just to let you know about the electrical, I ran a power strip up and mounted it to the ceiling. And the interesting thing about this power strip is it's an energy saver. And if you plug one item into the master, when you shut that off, all the other things go off as well. So I hooked it to the TV, which I use as a monitor to record ourselves. And then when I shut the TV off, the power to the camera goes off, that light, both overhead lights, all of this shuts off when I shut the TV off. And then in the back, I've got a couple of power strips for those. One of my best videos that I've done so far that has the most views is a review of earbuds. But the background was a very dark background, and one of the commenters said that it was very difficult to watch because the background was just so distracting. And I had a horrible echo down here, and I've been fighting with the different lighting problems. I tried to solve a lot of these. Like, I think you can still see a shadow in the background because my key light is casting a shadow. But before I had the lights on the rail system lighting the wall, it was even worse. And I've used a lot of different things to try to light the background. I've used gels. Let me go get a gel real quick. All right, now this gel is very dirty and I need to wash it off, but this is a gel, okay? This is a blue one, kind of looks purple on camera, but it's blue. And you put this in front of a light and it changes the color of your light. So if I put this in front of the rail systems, you can't tell a whole lot, but if you put this in front of a light, it changes the color. And I also used these work clamps. Let me grab one of those. These work lamps, and I clamped them everywhere. I clamped them on the table. I clamped them on these little mounts that I made for the floor. I moved them around, but when I put it on the floor, using a gel to shoot blue on the wall, my nightstand would cast a shadow on the wall. When I aimed them at the shelves would cast shadows in all different directions, or the light was too bright or too dark and I couldn't dim them at all. I ran into a lot of these little issues that just didn't work. But when I got all these issues lined out and the shadows were kind of gone, the distractingness was gone, and everything started to be cohesive and come together, I still had an audio problem. Because I made a video talking about using moving blankets to fix your audio. But I mounted those on the concrete wall, and I was worried that the moisture and the sweat on the brick would cause it to create mold and trap moisture inside. Let's not do that.
Yeah, blue hair.
So I came up with a bright idea to put these brackets up, going all across in 3 different directions right in front of us, plus another one on the ceiling. Because I didn't like the one that I stapled to the ceiling, and when I took it down, a lot of my echo came back. And I figured, hey, even if I made these videos look beautiful, you're not gonna watch them if the audio is garbage. So I've hesitated making videos because I wanted it perfect. How many times have we shot this video?
One, like a lot of times.
A lot of times?
Yep, and then we finally got it right. And then when Dad was doing it, I come back and see how good it was. And his microphone was broke.
The microphone that I use, or usually use for my audio, is this lav mic. Now this is a Rode Smartlav. And this is supposed to be able to connect to your smartphone. I actually bought the wrong lav, so I had to use an adapter. This is a TRRS and this is a TRS adapter. And then I use an H1n Recorder to record the audio into it. So I'll take this lav mic and I clamp it on myself, right? Now the downside though, is if she talks, you can't hear her as well as you could if I had a different kind of microphone. I think lav mics are a little bit muddier, a little bit like low tone dominant. And I noticed that you'd have clothing rustle. And if I lean forward like this.
Can you even see it?
Oh, you almost can't, can you? Because I'm wearing black. But if I lean forward, it's almost as if my mouth was past my chest and the audio sounded different than if I was leaning back. And when this broke and all of our footage went to garbage, I went looking for another microphone. Now I was gonna buy another.
We find this.
I was gonna buy another lav, and I stumbled across something that I've been wanting for a long time already. Now it is not a shotgun, it is not a boom mic, it is a shotgun mic, but it works so much better. And that is the Rode Go 2. It doesn't have a battery in it, and it was only $100 at Best Buy and on Amazon. And I think the audio coming from this mic works way better than the lav mic that I was using before. Now, one option that I tried was something like this. Now this, it is an omnidirectional mic. It picks up audio from everywhere, and with it comes all the background noise, and it makes everything echo way worse. I have 2 of these. I have this, which is a Deity Duo, and then I have another one, which is a Rode Video Micro. I believe that was the name of both of them. And they just create a lot of echo to where this has a lot tighter of a pickup pattern. And honestly, I think this is the best audio I've ever had. It is nice and crisp and clean. And I'm excited because she can sit here and talk next to me. And I have my mic on a boom arm that I mounted right above us, right outside of frame. So it's close to us, but you can't see it. Oh, now you can. We have moving blankets because sound blankets are ridiculously expensive. And we bought all the moving blankets. I bought all of them for $100. And I bought so many that I had more than I could possibly use. And then microphones. 2x4s are like $3.50 a piece, and the brackets, I bought all of them for like $10 at the restore.
Dad, I want that background more purple and then pink.
She wants the purple and the pink background. Also, if you see flies flying around here, my girls are notorious for leaving the back door open, and we're in the basement, right by the back door. So, I don't know. It's her fault. All right, now the last thing that I really want to bring up is decor. So we actually built this wall behind us, and I wanted it to be matte black. And then we ended up painting it. It was supposed to be like a gray, just straight up monochrome gray, and it came out more of a bluish hue. At first I hated it, but now that we've been working with it and I got all the lighting set up, I kind of like it. So we painted the wall. I painted it satin, which I still feel like we should have painted it matte instead of satin. And then we have a movie projector up here on the wall. And we got the plant and a little, a lot of them are just decorations, stuff that I really like. I wanted it to be more camera based. I feel like I've been rambling a little bit. What's the purpose of having a studio to begin with? I have made so many excuses about making videos, and I even put up some videos like, this is the year of no excuses, and then I just continue to make excuses. Because I spend time with the family, and I don't necessarily take the time to sit down and make the videos that I want to make. And this allows me to remove those distractions, and at any time of day, I can come down here and I can film a video. And I can talk about cameras and camera accessories and family life, and I can pick up good audio and, hey, don't do that. You didn't make that. Mia made that. But this allows me to remove all the excuses and make the videos that I truly want to make. And right now, I probably have like 6 different video ideas all in the works with a bunch of footage for all of them. And I hope that you stick around, subscribe for more. I have a video about living behind a camera screen, about different cameras to use, different accessories to use, a chicken coop that we built, a truck that I bought, like all these different ideas, and I have all the footage to go along with it. And this studio is just one way for me to move forward in making videos that I want to make and sharing it with you. And we essentially did all of this on a budget. Is there anything else that you think we should tell them about the studio before we go?
The boyfriend?
I kind of talked about them.
Not all of them.
Now I will tell you that my nightstand over here looks like a mess. I turned it into a charging station, and I might have to move that around or something. That's probably gonna drive my wife crazy if she sees this video. But I guess I have nothing else for you. So this is a studio.
Ooh, plant.
Fake plants. I tried to put real plants down here, and my bamboo plant almost completely died on me. So this is it. Lighting, audio, decorations, and the purpose for having a studio to begin with. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of courage, and like always, stay diligent.
Diligent.